Hello, spooky crew. Our tote bag drawing is officially closed, and we just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who entered. We are so grateful for the love and the support, and we have loved reading your reviews. Missed the tote? No worries. We're still sending out high-quality vinyl stickers while supplies last. Just email us proof of your rating and review along with your mailing address to thespookydarlings@gmail.com, and we'll get one headed your way. Quick promise, your address is only for mailing the sticker. No emails, no selling info, no funny business, just spooky gratitude. Thanks again for supporting the show. You are the reason we do this. Hello, and welcome to the Spooky Darlings, where three sisters swap stories about true crime, the supernatural, and the weirdest and coolest stuff we can dig up. During the formation of this podcast, we went through a few different names and emails before settling on the Spooky Darlings, so don't be surprised if we call ourselves the Cozy Ghost Hour or Crazy Creepy Cool. We are now officially the Spooky Darlings, and our email is thespookydarlings@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in to our third episode where we talk about one of our favorite haunted hotels, McMenamins Edgefield in Troutdale, Oregon. If you haven't already, please follow our show and download any episodes you might have missed. You can delete them after you listen. It's so easy. And I would not say no to a 5-star review. Enjoy the show. All right, welcome to Crazy Creepy Cool, a podcast where we talk about anything crazy, like true crime or ghosts, or creepy, like ghosts.
Just whatever's cool. I don't know.
Whatever you find cool,
either.
like a brand of clothing that you really like, and so you research it and talk about how it got started.
Like Nirvana, that brand of clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Could be, or it could be even more cool than that.
Thanks again for tuning in. Today we're talking about a haunted hotel. I would say probably considered the most haunted hotel in Oregon, if not one of the most haunted hotels. Wait, let me reverse that. I would say it's one of the most haunted. I would say
This is a really good start.
I would say it's one of the most haunted hotels in Oregon, if not the most haunted hotel. I'm going to give you a brief history of Edgefield McMenamins. First of all, it's nestled in the lovely community of Troutdale, Oregon, just east of Portland, settled right on the Columbia River. And from portlandghost.com, I found this information. In Troutdale, Oregon, sits the mysterious McMenamins Edgefield. Edgefield is a hotspot not only for Portland locals, but for ghostly activity. In 1854, 4 houses were constructed and seen to house, quote, deplorables. Deplorables were basically anybody living on the street, anybody who couldn't keep a job, perhaps unwed mothers with their children or widowed mothers with their children, or elderly who couldn't take care of themselves. The poor houses kept a strict schedule of manual labor, but they were also fed and housed. It helped Portland and the surrounding cities for their poor population for most of the early 20th century. Then, as the major population of the people living there aged, so for example, like if it was young people who were mentally ill and unable to like keep a normal job or stay in a normal house, they would age. Suddenly they found that most of their population was elderly, and so they actually converted it into a nursing home and also a mental institution for mentally ill children.
Nice.
In the 1980s, they realized
you got to keep those crazy kids off the street.
Yeah. In the 1980s, repairs for the building became too expensive, and the state decided it would be best to shut the institution down, and the rest of the patients that were in the facility were sent to just other facilities all across Oregon. And then in the 1990s, Edgefield was declared an historical landmark. And I think how it works is if a building is declared a historical landmark, it can't be knocked down and used for other purposes. It's like like best efforts have to be made to keep it working and to sort of respect the history of it. So during this time, the McMenamin brothers purchased the land and turned the building into the hotel that we love today. I've been there a few times. Haley has been there a few times as well.
I've been there once.
I've been there, yes.
With your spooky son.
Mhm. We will get to that
Later.
later. So feeling hands push you are not the only reported experiences of guests at Edgefield. Guests who leave their room in disarray have reported their clothing being flung into the hall. I think that there's a ghost that does a similar thing at the one in Colorado,
Oh,
the
yeah?
Stanley Hotel, but instead of if you leave your room in disarray, the ghost like neatly folds everything and puts it back in your suitcase. So
I need that ghost to haunt my house.
that's a little better than having everything flung into the hall. Also, how do we
Yeah.
know that's just not an employee that's like, I can blame this on a ghost? Checking everything out.
The maids are just ruining your room.
They're like, it wasn't me, it was a ghost. Guests who leave their room in disarray have reported their clothing being flung into the hall or even out the window, specifically room 215, which you will hear repeatedly in this episode.
And
Which is also where we stayed. Other guests report a small child racing up and down the hallway at all hours of the night. And if the child is seen and approached, it is said that the child disappears into a mist. An attempt to cleanse the hotel of spirits was performed, and during the cleansing, animal bones were found in where room 215 is now, in that room, and they were in the shape of a pentagram.
Nice.
Stories of unmarked
Making it pretty.
graves, yes, stories of unmarked graves are reported, and in the upstairs of the building, guests often hear a mother trying to soothe her baby, and she is also heard to sing soothing lullabies. That's a sweet haunting. Not all ghosts at McMenamins are so soothing, though. One guest reported that she felt being watched in her room, and as the manager came and checked on her room, they both reported hearing a voice say, "Get out."
Ooh.
The guest switched rooms, and the manager said that the hairs on the back of his neck stood up upon hearing the voice.
Oh my gosh. That would be so creepy.
And there's more history. If you go to Edgefield, I think if you go to the McMenamins.com website, that was from ghostsofportland.com or something like that. But if you go to the McMenamins website, they give a more in-depth history website.
What's an website?
Explain yourself.
I can't, it's a secret. If you go to the McMenamins website, you can click on each individual hotel and you can get a history of any of their properties. And some ghostly experiences also are often listed there. So last time Haley and I stayed there, we were able to get to borrow the ghost log, and we took screenshots of the pages and have some spooky experiences to share. So what happens is,
do we want to tell our experience there first?
Yeah, let's do that.
Or do we want to get into
No,
the story?
let's tell our experience.
Boy,
There's a handsome boy. It's my dog.
For the listeners, this is Freddie, Nettie's dog.
Emily's
He's
like
the handsome boy I was
my
talking
dog.
about.
My dog is really cute too. I can see it in her face, but she's not in here right now. Exactly.
And I have two cute dogs. Okay, so we stayed there. We stayed at McMenamins Edgefield in room 215. And we did a Ouija board, which I was so disappointed because we had to make our own. But I had specifically bought a Ouija board to take that I forgot at my house.
So Haley booked the trip. I'm Nettie speaking. And Haley booked the trip for my birthday. And to stay in room 215, you have to book pretty far in advance because it's kind of their most requested room because it's the one that most of the paranormal activity seems to take place in. So Haley had called ahead and we had all this plan to do Ouija board to like try to sort of see what we could feel. And then my dear sister
forgot it.
Left the Ouija board behind.
So we took a bottle cap and then we just wrote.
We had a piece
of paper,
like white cardboard, the kind that's used like with a shirt would be folded around it when you're buying a packaged shirt. We took that out,
drew our own Ouija board,
and then used a bottle cap. And honestly, it worked.
And we got like so tired. Like we had some like good energy. And then just like while we were doing the Ouija board, we just like were falling asleep in our chairs.
Yes, we got tired very quickly. We had a little bit of activity. We asked the person their name and they spelled ZAQ. And then they just did a lot of crazy just moving back and forth across the board. And then we were both just drained.
Yeah.
Completely drained.
And that felt spooky to you to be tired at night.
Like it
I
was
think just
to
looking
be
back, the
to be
timing
tired
was
so suddenly.
yeah. And like,
Because before we started, I was like, whatever, I could stay awake or I could fall asleep.
and she showed me both.
Gosh.
She demonstrated both. But then I would like in the night, I was woken up by what felt like something shoving my pillow, but it was on the side of the bed that you were not on.
Yes, it was on your side of the bed.
Well, like,
Oh, I see what you
like
mean.
not, it's not like you sleeping next to me pushing my pillow. It's like the other side of my pillow on the edge of the bed that was pushed.
It's like someone was standing at the edge of the bed.
Once again, I'm great at describing things.
So something was standing on your side of the bed and pushed you.
Pushed my pillow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you were sitting in that chair in the corner.
Mhm.
Didn't you feel something
Just
there?
cold. It just was cold in that corner, which could just be normal to have a corner of a room be cold, but
Yeah.
definitely felt cold. Yeah, it was interesting. I think we were both hoping for something a little
Which I think is why
more,
the ghosts stay away from us.
maybe.
Because it would
You have
make
to
us so
play,
happy.
you have to play hard to get if you
You're
want
too
it.
desperate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
All right. So
Well,
Emmy, talk about
I can tell you the time that I went to McMenamins, we didn't sleep there, but Nettie and I, and I know that you remember this, Nettie, because we've discussed it a few times. We went there just for lunch, and then we decided to walk around the grounds, and my son Oliver was with us. He was 3 years old at the time. And we had not been talking about ghosts, but when we were walking down the hallway, Oliver started stomping his foot and saying there was a ghost stuck to his foot. And we laughed, but it was right when we were outside of room 215.
yes.
Yep.
He was
So we
stomping
laughed.
and wiping his foot on the ground. It was like
Yeah, he was like
kind of
stomping. Yeah, it was so funny.
Voice.
So yeah, we went and told the front desk about it and just kind of laughing, and they were like, "Oh, we've got this ghost log. You can add your experience to the ghost log." So I did. I wrote down
right.
Oliver's experience in the ghost log.
That's how we found out. And then
Yay.
you and I sat and read them. But
Yeah, we
didn't-
read through the ghost log, which we have a copy of. I know you said we had screenshots of it, but it's when you take a picture of it, I think it's a picture, not a screenshot.
And you have been waiting to correct that for several minutes.
It just came to me, and
like,
I
now's not the time. I will do it later. I'm gonna just put this in my back pocket for later.
But yeah, did you want to share some of those
Yeah.
logs now? I have one that
You
the
go
one that
first,
I found
Emmy.
most interesting.
All right.
I'm just going to read it straight from the log. 03:27 hours, which is 3:27 in the morning for people that don't say time like that.
For people who
I was
aren't-
awakened to the sound of an old man in his 80s crying outside my door. The crying and whimpering went on for approximately 5 minutes before I decided to get up and see what was going on and why someone was standing outside my door at 3:27 crying. And I just have to point out that if he was doing it for 5 minutes, it would have been 3:33. 3:32.
And I wonder how they
Uh-huh.
knew. I mean, they said old man in his 80s. How did they know this man was in his 80s?
Yeah, I don't know. Or it says 80s in parentheses. Maybe it was in the 1980s.
I
No,
don't think so because it wasn't a hotel yet.
right.
Until the
It was
90s.
I mean, like
80s was his age.
old people have like old voices.
Yeah, like someone sounded like they were in their 80s. Yeah.
Like whimpering like an old man sound. Okay. I was pretty pissed off that someone chose my door to stand in front of and cry. I got out of bed and walked towards the door. As I got closer to the door, I could definitely tell the man was outside my door. I grabbed the door handle, and the emotions that ran through my body were sadness and pain. I opened the door and could see a shadow for only a second, and the crying immediately stopped. There was not enough time for anyone to run away. I didn't think anything of it and went back to bed. While sleeping, I had a disturbing real-life type dream. The dream was of a doctor in a white coat yelling at elderly people. He was both physically and verbally abusive to the patients. In the dream, he turned to me, yelling at me, and hit me on the side of the head. I woke up with the left side of my head sore and cold sweats. I could feel the pain, anguish, and sorrow as if it was happening to me right there and right now. I'm one who never remembers dreams or even cares about them, but this one was disturbingly real. The next morning, my wife and I went downstairs to have coffee and sit on the front porch to enjoy the morning. There, I decided to tell her of my experience. The both of us had no idea or knowledge of the history of this hotel until she Googled it. My wife's face turned white.
Wow.
She asked me our room number again, and I told her 215. She said that room and floor is haunted. We also found out at one point this hotel was a nursing home. Putting two and two together made me think harder about what I experienced. I did not believe in ghosts and never have, but now I'm rethinking my beliefs. I approached the staff at the front desk, explained my experience. She handed me the hotel ghost book. We read it, only to find room 215 on every page. There was a common time around 3:30. 3:30 hours. I'm really bad at saying military time.
Because you've never been in the military.
I
You
know.
don't have practice.
It's one of my regrets.
You're good at other things, though.
Yeah. A
Like
common
normal time.
time was around 3:30 in the morning for every incident. I believe in facts and proof above all. I retired after years in law enforcement. This was from Jack and Sandy from Phoenix, Arizona.
That was really well
Ooh,
written.
That was really well
You
written.
can tell. I mean, it was almost written like a cop record. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is the time, this is the event. Cops are
Yeah.
good writers because they have to keep good record.
Detailed logs, yeah.
But I will, speaking of good
Some
writing,
cops
I'm
are
going to
good
read.
writers.
Did you ever, okay, this is a slight tangent, but did you ever see there was like a cop in Alaska and everyone was screenshotting his descriptions of crimes and criminals are like incidences because he would be like long flowing hair, wind rustled. It's like everything was so poetic. I'll have to find that. It was,
No,
Blown.
show that to me. That's fun.
I think it was in Alaska. It was so funny. Okay,
Oh,
I'm going to
that's
read
awesome.
a couple shorter ones. Speaking of really well crafted haunted ones, I'll read like 3 or 4 really short ones. I'm going to read just the first few.
Mhm.
Okay, this was July 13th, 2015. In room 19, I felt someone enter the room. It was 3 a.m. Then someone yanked the back of my hair. Then they left. It was real. Darcy, quote, a ghost pulled my hair, Matheson.
And you know that it's real because at the end she said it was real.
And real is in
I wonder if that was her name before the ghost pulled her hair.
Oh, see, that's just attracting trouble.
Yeah, she was asking for it with a name like that. She probably also had her hair in a ponytail, easy to grab.
So
Darcy,
easy.
Darcy, a ghost pulled my hair, Matheson. Come on. All right, I'll read a couple more. 8/3/15, so August 3rd, 2015. Leaving room 312 to the main hall, one of the double doors shook and shattered. And when we looked back, one of the doors was shutting in our face. It really made a huge noise when it broke loose to shut. No one else was there. And that was Amber and Kayla. Another one. This is also in 2015, October 1st, 2015. 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. I awoke hearing floors creaking, furniture being pushed slowly across the floor. Then I realized it wasn't the room, but the stairwell, the emergency fire one. And then October 18th, 2015, 9 to 9:30 a.m., hubby and I went out for a soak in the pool, and upon returning to the room, found the dental floss from the trash on the floor and the folded clothes from my suitcase in the unmade bed between the covers. Checking out today.
Scared him out. One more, or do you want me to go?
There's one more short one.
Okay.
That will just be that page. We'll finish that page. Okay. October 28th, 2015, 11:30 a.m. I was sitting in the room next to the entrance to the Black Rabbit. I was reading a book and noticed someone walk through the room and through the outside closed door. I looked for that person, but no one was there. The lamp blinked and there was a strange, but not scary feeling in the room. I think the person, or ghost in parentheses, was a woman. After a few minutes more, I felt uneasy, so I left the room. So she saw someone walk by, and then when she looked back to see where they were gone. Nobody there.
Ooh.
Spooky.
Okay, I'll just pick up where you left off, kind of. We went to the front desk to read everyone's stories about their ghosts. We found some about our room. They're in room 41. Well, on our way back to our room, we wrote a story about the library, and we have to walk through it to get to our room. Taylor's hair got pulled, and we all started screaming and ran to the room. We all finally got relaxed and situated. Then me and Summer heard a tapping noise, 3 taps. At first, I thought it was just Summer, but then we heard it again. But that time we could feel it. We all started screaming and ran out. We ended up going back to the room. Our hairbrush was on the bed. We were looking for it all day. Taylor B. And I'll just do one more quick one. Woke up this morning laying next to my wife, facing her back to the wall as the clock turned 3:52 a.m. A hand pushed the middle of my back. I could feel all 5 fingers in palm. Crazy.
Oh,
Really moved me.
that's what you experienced.
Yeah, but just on my pillow.
Oh, so it like shoved your pillow. What
Yeah,
room?
just a room 36.
Oh,
And that was January of 2016.
I don't know why I'm disappointed it's not room 215.
No.
Oh, there's other haunted rooms.
Lame.
Boring.
Yeah, there were a couple people that said that their hair got pulled, which I thought was interesting that that's
Mhm.
like a common.
Yeah,
I wonder why they didn't pull your hair.
I feel
She
left out.
probably didn't have it in a ponytail. Also, her middle name is not a ghost pull my hair.
Not.
That's
It's called
true.
I'm Haley, don't pull my hair. Larvik.
Oh, no.
This is January of 2015, room number unknown. I felt dark energy in the middle of the night. We could not go back to bed. We knew something was wrong. We, Alexis and Matt, Googled this room the next morning, and we didn't know we were staying in a haunted room.
Haunted room.
And that's Alexis and Matt.
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to share one. After checking in, this was in room 215. After checking in, we initially went into the room to check it out. No lights were on as it was still daylight. We left for a moment to get our belongings, and when we returned, every single light was in the room was turned on. I was awakened around 3:30 a.m. because I heard whispering in my ear. It was a man's voice whispering, "I told you not to do that." Said it 6 or 7 times in succession. "I told you not to do that. I told you not to do that. I told you not to do that. I told you not to do that."
That's the scariest
Creepy.
one. That is the
I
scariest.
had no problem falling asleep at all. I did not feel threatened in any way. In the women's lounge on the second floor, I went to the facilities, and upon entering the bathroom, the shower door was closed. And when I went to wash my hands after, I looked to see that the shower door was partially open, and I heard nothing at all. It was very quiet. The creepiest part is I told you not to do it, but the person said they didn't feel scared. Isn't that odd?
I would
Yeah.
have felt terrified.
It's kind of weird how it's honestly like a feeling, it's like sometimes something can happen to you and you just don't feel afraid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in any other situation, and sometimes nothing will happen that's tangible, but you'll just be like frozen in fear.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like on my hike the other day where the woods just felt so spooky. And I've been up there like hundreds of times not feeling that way. But this time I just was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I hightailed it back to my car.
All right.
I'll read
Okay,
one.
you go.
My girlfriend and I stayed in this room a few nights. We disregarded creaky floors as the old building and adjacent rooms, but last night was especially creaky, sounding like someone walking around our room. The creaking stopped, and a few seconds later, it sounded like my girlfriend's nightstand drawer opened and closed, and then someone flicked her glass of water. And that was room 330. You want me to read the next one?
Yeah, read the next one. The next one's a good one.
This is unknown date, unknown room. I was outside sitting and heard someone next to me say my name. I turned and no one was there. My daughter heard it also and said, "Did you hear that, Mom?" She's 29 years old and a federal officer. Very credible. I had the same thing happen the day before, but was the only person that heard it, so I never said anything. Wow, been coming here 10 years, nothing before. Anonymous.
Okay, this is October 8th, 2016. Me and my mom were walking down the hallway. We were walking somewhere around room 215, but they were in room 211. They were staying in room 211. An old picture on the door was of an old man. I was walking past it and his eyes were following me. Later that night, because there is an old man painted on room 215 on the door, I did not feel so well, so we went back to our room. It was around 5:30 in the morning when I heard furniture being moved upstairs. It sounded like chairs were being pushed over. Outside the door, I heard women crying. I could hardly sleep, neither could my mom. And that was Isabel, age 9. Oh, poor little Isabel. Okay, one more. 1:30 a.m. This is 8/27/16, room 706. I was wide awake, sober, and the light was on. I heard a loud sound like a vent or air conditioner hum, turned around, and I saw that there was a large, round, tall, opaque white form in front of me. Near the door, I stood immobile in shock for a moment, and then it faded.
Wow.
Oh, here's the one I was asking if we had read.
Oh.
October 1st, 2016. Our fan turned itself off today. We have a photo. Anonymous. We unfortunately do not have the photo because this anonymous person didn't share it.
They just talked about it.
And
So are you saying
And
it's kind of like they screenshotted their fan when it was turned off?
I'm like, I don't know how many times I have to explain to you a screenshot. It's not the same as a photo. Okay.
And you want to read one? Oh, Nettie, go.
Oh, I'll just read the last one on that page. At about 7 p.m., so this was December 8th, 2016. At about 7 p.m., we witnessed some orbs in our room. Then by 8 p.m., I seen a face looking in the window, which is impossible because being it was on the second floor. I love this room. Lots of noise near the wardrobe.
I love this room.
Wanted to be haunted and they got it. Why can't we? Okay, I love this room. Lots of noise near the wardrobe.
Because we have to start using seen incorrectly.
Maybe it's correct in ghost speak. Like, I seen you. You go, okay. I feel it is friendly. We'll definitely come back. My friend was sitting in the big chair and was touched on the shoulder with orbs all around.
Is that room 215?
That was room 215. That's the same chair I was in where I felt it was like, I didn't feel like I was touched, but
No.
definitely, it was just a spooky feeling.
Kind of oddly a different temperature than the rest of the
I
room.
was sitting in someone else's chair too. It was kind of
Mhm.
that weird feeling. You know, like when you were a little kid and you go to your friend's house and you didn't want to sit like in the big easy chair because you knew it was the dad's chair.
Yeah,
You
and if
would've
the
felt-
dad,
you
the
would've
dad
felt
walked in the
weird.
room.
Yeah, it was kind of that feeling. Like you're sitting in a chair that you know you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
You want to go, Emmy?
We stayed in room 211. While we were sitting and talking, the chip bag we bought started opening on its own. I got chills everywhere. Later in the morning, while my husband was fast asleep, I felt someone sit at the foot of the bed. Whatever energies are here, I feel they are friendly. Such a beautiful place to stay. I can't wait to come back and stay in 215.
Ooh.
And what room were they in?
211.
Ooh, do you want to read the next one?
I wonder if the ghost was curious what was in the chip bag.
Probably.
Here.
Or maybe the chips was their favorite snack.
Maybe. We stayed in room 215, and at about 7 p.m. at night, we heard footsteps walking towards the door. When we opened it, there was no one around. The next morning, around 6:30 a.m., we heard the same footsteps at the door and again opened it to see no one around. About 11:30 p.m., I had a very bad anxiety and had to get out of the room and sit on the front porch. When we returned, some of the anxiety was gone, but the heaviness was still in the room.
Wow.
Ooh.
You know, it's interesting. It is, people do walk by, and they heard people walking by like at 7 p.m. and 6:30 a.m., which would be totally normal times. And room 215 is a room that does not have a bathroom. And it's like 2 doors down from it is the communal bathroom. So I could see how someone would walk by, you'd hear the creak, and they would turn to the bathroom and you'd open the door and look out and be like,
Ooh,
because unless they were right by the door and opened it
Yeah.
immediately, I just wonder, is
Yeah.
that really paranormal, or are they just hearing?
People,
Crazy.
other humans,
Yeah.
live humans walking around.
And having a very bad anxiety, I don't know about that.
Well,
The way
as
they typed
someone
it was
who
kind of funny.
has someone who misuses English words constantly.
You got this. You can do it.
We believe in you.
I made Lola practice with me, because she starts college in a couple weeks, and I was like, "Hey," she's going to be embarrassed. I mean, her name's not Lola; it's a different child of mine that's going to college. But I made her practice conversations with me. I was like, "Let's just pretend like I'm someone." And so we were doing this practice, and I didn't know you were going to school here. Oh, I didn't know you were going either. And so then she asked me in our pretend conversation, "Oh, that's cool. What are you studying?" And I go, "Phrenology."
Phrenology.
Made up a word.
Because you weren't expecting that.
Stop laughing. Because what is phrenology? I'm gonna be a
The
phrenologist.
study of where you're from.
So okay,
That's awesome.
I'll read the next one. This is also room 215. On our same stay, we were sitting in, is this the same person? On our same stay, it's almost like it's a continuation. Oh, it is. It's a continuation of the last one you just read. On our same stay, we were sitting in the bar at the Black Rabbit restaurant, and I watched the top of the bar table shake 3 times. I felt like we were being watched a few times while in the bathrooms. The ghosts we did experience were not mean or trying to scare us. We will be back. This place is beautiful and holds a lot of history.
Nice.
Okay, I've got one more. Several years ago, my husband and I spent the night here. I don't remember the room number, but it was on the second floor, which is the floor 215 is on. I drifted off quickly, but soon became aware of talking outside my door. Then I heard the door open and the sound of footsteps coming towards the end of the bed. I was kind of half asleep and didn't move a muscle. Then I felt someone grab my foot. I sat up, but no one was in the room. Thank God. I told the clerk upon checkout my experience, and she said that's the way they would wake up the residents. I'm convinced this place is haunted, but it's a good vibe, not scary. I love it. That was
Yeah.
from Sabra M.
I think I feel like we've heard multiple stories of people being woken up by their foot being shaken or by
There's
the
multiple
bed
stories in here
about their foot
about their
feet
foot being
touched.
touched.
That's so interesting because that would be the way you'd wake up a resident. You kind of come in and try not to alarm them. I mean, I do that with my kids if I'm waking them up gently,
Uh-huh.
like a little touch on the foot, give them a squeeze, a little pat on the tummy.
Mm-hmm. Little back
Good
scratch.
morning, beautiful boy. Rise and shine. You ready for a great day? Yeah.
And
Then you get real close to its ear and say, I told you not to do that. I told you not to do that.
I will do that next time one of them does something wrong.
Yes.
But at 3 a.m.
in the middle of the night.
I'm going to cuddle right up next to them and just.
They're gonna love this.
I'm going to love it. Okay, let's see here. Let's read this one. Shared room 3005 with two friends. They were both woken through the night with the sound of something that was like a heavy ball rolling on the floor.
Ooh.
As we chatted in the very early morning about this concerning event, there was a loud wood on wood sound. Get your mind out of the gutter. That's not what they're talking about.
I was not gonna make a joke.
There was a loud wood on wood sound, very much like the room wood chair had been lifted and dropped, stopping conversations, all three of us turning our heads to the exact same spot. So in the room they heard it, they all looked to the same spot.
Ooh.
Wow, anonymous.
Okay.
Oh.
Stop me if we already read this one.
I won't
This
stop
is
you. We can hear it twice.
June of 2017, rooms 5 and 6. My girlfriends stayed the last 2 nights at the Edgefield rooms 5 and 6. We heard some of the history of the building and property with reports of paranormal activity. After reading a few accounts about room 215 and our own rooms, my friends slept in the same bed in a fright. I wanted to see something for myself, but after wandering the dark halls till about 1 a.m. with nothing strange to report, I went to bed.
That's because she was there at the wrong time.
You silly
3 a.m.
goose. At about 6:30 to 7 a.m. before we got out of bed, I heard the distinctive sound of billiard balls coming from the pool hall right below our rooms.
Oh.
I didn't really think anything of it till I got up and remembered that the pool hall doesn't open until noon. Still unsure if it was anything ghostly, I went to the front lobby to ask if anybody would be down this early. They told me no one was working down at the bar at that time and laughing, telling me it must be Lucky himself shooting some billiards. He was one of the former janitors that once worked here. Lucky Staley was actually a resident and was in a wheelchair, and the pool hall is named after him.
That's interesting because the
Karen K. Karen Kilgariff, is that you?
Karen Kilgariff. I hope so. That'd be cool. I feel like she would write a spookier story. She's a writer.
She's real good.
It's interesting because this Karen person heard the sound of billiard balls. And the people's account we read right before that heard the sound of a ball rolling across the room.
Oh,
like if you're not familiar with billiards, you might not know like the sound.
Yeah.
Also, what is
Wood
billiard
on
balls?
Wood.
What are billiard balls? Is that just pool balls?
Well, yeah, like a pool table is a billiard table.
That's a billiard table. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like for some reason I was picturing a shuffleboard, but with wooden balls, kind of like bocce ball, and a little bit like bowling.
I think you just came up with a new, really neat game.
Trademark. New game.
It's called Netty.
It's called Netty Balls.
It's strictly wood on wood.
Has to be a wooden table and wooden balls. Emily looks real worried.
I'm happy about it. I'm excited.
Forget podcasting. We have a new game to develop. Okay. Oh, this is the one that Emily read by the cup.
Yeah.
All right.
I was just thinking about how Netty balls, it rhymes with sweaty balls.
Ooh, it does. That maybe we can serve sweaty balls at our establishment where people play Netty ball.
Oh, and we can do the ASMR of people eating.
Yes.
We're just having good idea after good idea.
A lot of mouth sounds.
What if we do?
Everybody loves those. Yes.
What if
Yeah.
we play recordings of any like older lady's voice tapping on things and asking if we see that?
Yeah.
Like, do you see that?
Nope. You got to stop.
Do you see that?
Ah! Just kidding. You're fine.
Okay. April 27th, 2017. We visited for lunch and walked through the grounds. Right as we passed,
Oh, this is
Emily, this
Emily.
is yours. Right as we passed room 215, my 3-year-old son said, "Oh no, there's a ghost on my
Try
foot."
and say it the way
It's-
Ollie would.
No, I can't do his voice.
Too cute.
Okay, but let me say Ollie's quote.
Sorry.
"Oh no, there's a ghost on my foot. It's stuck there. Believe what you will." Now that's good writing.
Oh,
And that's
yeah.
by Anonymous, so it's probably
Riveting.
Karen Kilgariff. And that's by Anonymous because you spelled your name wrong. It's Emily. This
I got all the
date
wrong
unknown.
letters.
Date unknown. That's cool though that yours ended up in the typed version. It was like only 3 more stories after that when Haley and I checked out the book.
Mm-hmm.
There were only 3 more stories after that that were in the logs.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, oh no, that were typewritten. The rest
Yeah.
were handwritten.
Yeah.
Okay. Several years ago, my husband and I spent the night here. I don't remember the room number, probably 215, but it was on the 2nd floor. I drifted off quickly, but soon became aware of talking outside my door.
My
Then-
gosh, I read this story just a couple minutes ago out loud to you.
Felt someone say, oh. Okay. Moving on to a new one.
Just do the one after that. That one's a good one.
Okay. Also, this one is date known. I have a 6-foot iPhone, and I'll tell you the date. It's October 17th, 2017. I had a 6-foot iPhone plug-in charging cord. While plugging in the charger to the wall socket, I stood and watched the cord fly 18 inches out of the socket. So it didn't just flew out 18 inches. After replugging it in the socket again, I stood, and after a minute or so, something yanked my charging cord out of my phone. And that is in room 215.
Yes.
Well, and then also in room 215, while laying in bed in the morning so this is the next day. There must be something about July because I feel like a lot of these 215 things happen. I feel like they've happened in July.
Yeah.
While laying in bed, because this is the day after.
We're
In the
gonna visit
mornings,
July.
In the morning, as my wife went to shower, I laid on my right side and closed my eyes. Not asleep, just eyes closed. Something ran 4 fingers through the left side of my hair in a gentle manner, then patted my left shoulder twice. I immediately opened my eyes to find nothing around me.
Oh, that's freaky.
It's really scary.
Do you think maybe since like more log entries take place in July because it's a heavier travel month, though? Or do you think
Maybe the next ones
You
in
guys,
there,
we have to do research, which means
we have to
Emily,
go stay there. We'll have to do
we're
part
going
2.
to Edgefield.
Emily, you're flying up to Portland. We're picking you up.
I'm doing it?
We're
Here's
picking
your
you
trip.
up. We're driving you to Edgefield. We're staying there. Stay there for like 3 nights.
Yes.
4 nights. Ooh,
6
we can
nights, because that's the devil's number.
we'll do 2 nights at Edgefield McMenamins, and then
Yes.
drive to Forest Grove, do 2 nights at Grand Lodge McMenamins.
And we have to try and get haunted.
And listeners, if you would like to fund this trip, please PayPal me, or I don't have to PayPal. Please Venmo me.
We'll get a Patreon going. We'll do some special content. You guys can get rewarded for.
Or
if you give us
I'm
money.
just saying if people felt like if someone's listening, going,
Also,
the page.
we can link our Venmos.
I was sitting at this is July 14th, 2019. I was sitting at the bar pub stools and I felt someone slide their hand across my back. I turned around and no one was behind me. Not scary, just unknown and felt very clearly, or just known and
Ooh.
felt very clearly.
Ooh.
Power Station Pub, which is where I like to eat.
Yeah.
The food isn't necessarily great. I don't know what it is about it. I just like the ambiance.
Mhm.
Because I would say the food is just very average.
I don't know. When Jason and I took the boys to Foo Fighters that morning, we stopped at Edgefield and had breakfast there, and it was like the best breakfast of our lives.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
The Power Station or Black Rabbit?
No, it was Black Rabbit.
Black Rabbit is expensive if you go for dinner. I don't know how much it is for.
Delicious.
I took Natalie there and we were looking at the menu and it was all such fancy stuff and each plate was like $40 or something. And I was like, do you want any of this? Because we could go to the other place for so much less money. She's like, I just want chicken nuggets. I'm like, okay. And I told the waiter, he was so nice. I was like, I'm sorry, my daughter wants chicken nuggets. So we're going to go to a different restaurant. And he goes, yeah, this is not the place. Want chicken nuggets. That's fine. And then Natalie's like, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for blaming it on me.
Yeah, because the waiter's going to care that you'll never get to see again.
So Friday, June 21st, 2019. And before I read this, I want you to know this is by S and A. They are 11 and 12. Okay. Me and my friend were sitting in the lobby eating popcorn and reading the ghost story book when suddenly my friend heard her phone going off. She checked it to see that it hadn't actually gone off. She said, am I going insane or what? And I said, yes. Just as we started reading ghost stories from room number 215, we both heard a phone ringing. I then said, okay, maybe you're not insane. We were the only ones in the room, outside people at the office. We got up to see if the lobby phone was ringing, but the only thing we saw was a tablet that was off. My friend checked her phone again and showed me that it wasn't her phone. And that the last time she'd been called was Tuesday that week. We are 11 and 12, S and A, in parentheses. The ghosts will know who we are.
And at
And
the
then it
very
says-
bottom, sorry.
True story. In all caps.
Oh, that's so cute.
It is adorable. See, I love that they transcribe it into typing because you can read it easy, but it's kind of cute to see like how people underline things
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
add flair.
Room 333, July 15th, 2019. Late at night, felt a cat walk across the bed and heard it jump down to the floor. Her husband heard some skittering or paper crinkling as if a cat were playing with a wad of paper, which was not on the floor.
So they're saying
Which
there's
was there on the floor.
there,
Yeah.
which was there. Okay, so there was a lot of paper on the floor and they heard paper skittering across the floor.
And it felt like a cat jumped on their bed.
That is creepy.
Oh, jumped off. Felt like a cat jumped off their bed. Felt a cat walk across their bed and jumped off.
You did it.
I'm really good at describing things. We've established this.
Okay. Staying at the women's hostel on a bottom bunk. A lot of the rooms in McMenamins, like we said, room 215 doesn't have a bathroom. You share a communal bathroom. And they also have a hostel room where you can just stay with a bunch of random strangers and just pay a lot less money to stay in a bunk.
Mhm.
Kind of fun, very European. I mean, not for me, but maybe when I was a young lady.
Yeah. When I
Thank you
was,
for describing for all of us what a hostel is.
yeah.
Some people might not know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Staying at,
It was for you and the listeners.
I wasn't sure you knew.
Mm.
After all, you're the one that's done the most traveling. But yet I don't know.
Interesting thing about that bottom bunk that she described is that there's an upper bunk above the bottom one. So it's like kind of like picture a double-decker bed.
What?
So picture a bed with another bed on top of it, but not right on top of it.
Blowing my mind.
Okay, staying in the women's hostel on the bottom bunk. And on my first night, my friend and I were the only ones in the room. That's nice. She was on a bunk across the room, sleeping soundly. Someone 3 times kept shaking my mattress
Ooh.
in a 2 bump at once intervals as if to get my attention, like shake, 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 which would also be
A way to wake up the
Wait,
residents.
yeah, maybe. Who knows? Also, 3 times.
I would hate to be like a nurse and then die and then continue working.
I know. Your dream is to be a ghost hairstylist. But
No, a ghost. I stay at home.
My husband and I stayed here a few years ago, and we both woke up in the middle of the night to the bed shaking. And not again, the bed shaking. We were both like, is that you shaking the bed? It was neither of us. The shaking lasted about 10 seconds and was strong enough to wake both of us.
Wow.
freaky.
We'll have to put this one with the photo on our Instagram.
It's not a great photo, but we can put it on. Yeah.
No, I mean, just kind of.
It's a photo of a photo. So, and the paper's a little crinkled. It's a photo of like a paper copied photo. So the paper's a little crinkled, but yeah, we'll put it on.
Yeah.
Why don't you read what it said?
It says, this is in front of the second men's lavatory. We had taken a picture of the same place a few seconds before, but it had turned out normal. There was no one in the hallway at the time.
I wish that we could see the before picture because I think probably what they're saying is creepy as the shadow, but without
Shadow
seeing,
behind the
Yeah.
without
with
seeing
the
the
door.
other picture, it's kind of like, what's abnormal? Okay,
Yeah.
room 213. I woke up in the middle of the night to a man whispering in my ear, call me.
Ooh,
Amanda, age 37.
lucky Amanda.
Second floor, East Side Men's Laboratory. This is January 27th, 2019. I took a shower at about 3 a.m. Weirdo. When I got out of the shower, I started drying off. And this is in the men's laboratory, so they have like a shared bathroom. I know I keep explaining that, but it's not in the room. Like they're down the hall. Okay. When I got out of the shower, I started drying off. I watched one of the toilet stall doors that was completely closed open all the way, but nobody came out of the stall. I put my robe on and walked over to the stall. Nobody was in there. I was the only person in the lavatory area.
Ooh.
Adam. Oh, Haley, you wrote this one.
No, I didn't.
This is Haley.
I was like, did I write my story?
No, read it. Or unless, are you still looking at it?
It's like that. It doesn't look like my writing. It didn't happen to me. But did I?
Spelled my name wrong.
Okay, what if you read it?
Emmy.
Oh, okay. So me and my mom were walking around late at night when we both got really weird feelings in a path, and we took a photo where we felt really heavy. In the photo, there's an outline of a person and fog on the ground, but when we were walking around, there was no fog anywhere. In fact, at the time we took the photo, it was night, but clear and really pretty. We both thought this was very weird.
Ooh.
That is weird. I wish they posted the photo. Also, when I read it, I thought it said, and I'm really pretty. It was clear, and I'm really pretty.
Because that's what you would write. And you know what? You'd be right.
Let me set the scene. I'm beautiful.
Let me set the scene. There's a beautiful lady walking down the hall. It's me.
Does anybody want to read this last one?
You do it.
It's kind of tough to read with the cursive, but
Want me to read it? I'm good at cursive.
Okay.
You can read it. I'm just really good at reading cursive, especially like old, like grandma handwriting.
Okay, you got it.
My grandma was visiting and we took her to Edgefield. We had the room Coolio cats. We were telling grandma about the history of the Amazing Grace room. As she was taking her jacket off, the cross flew off her necklace onto the floor near the wall that separated us from the other room. Didn't we look it up? And the Amazing Grace room is
room 215.
Room 215, and it's the only room that has any kind of religious paraphernalia in it. It has like crosses on the lamps.
Oh, yeah.
We looked that up, and they have the words to Amazing Grace written on the wall. And all the other rooms, because they all have like their own individual art or like song lyrics written on the walls, and none of the other rooms have anything religious. It's only the Amazing Grace room.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Because of that beautiful pentagram made of bones.
Picture
they
this.
found in
There's
there.
a pentagram, and it's really pretty.
I wish they had kept it and framed it and made it like a mosaic out of it.
Yeah, why didn't they?
So I found a few more on the McMenamins website. They post kind of select.
If you ask me. Sorry, go on.
I found a few more on the website. They kind of like pulled out some favorites. So I'll read a few of them. Sensed a middle-aged elderly woman standing over the bed. Thought out of sleep, no one there. I was doing housekeeping about a month ago. This is a new story. And I was standing at the foot of the bed when suddenly I felt something, firmly grab my ankle and not let go until I jumped away. I looked under the bed and there was nothing. Oh, I don't like that. I do not like ankle grabbing.
I don't want to be grabbed.
What if I fall?
It reminds me of the people under the stairs. Do you remember that scary movie?
Oh.
Forever, it made me scared of the kind of stairs that don't have
Those
riser.
stairs just shouldn't exist.
Like my stairs?
The kind that where you can reach through and have an ankle grabber. Yeah, that kind of scary.
Yeah.
You have those stairs?
Yes.
Up to her room.
In my bedroom.
They scare me.
They're floating stairs, but mine are like floating, but there's stairs going down underneath. So while you can grab ankles, I've done it to my children. It's funny. It's hard. You have to be tall. Okay, so let me finish reading this one. I felt something firmly grab my ankle and not let go until I jumped away. I looked under the bed and there was nothing. Freaked me out a little. A
A
lot.
lot.
I felt a quick breeze, and the strongest sweet scent came over me. Like it smelled like flowers, kind of perfume-like. I lay in bed for an hour and saw shadows dancing on the walls, the ceiling, and the windows. Spirits were flying around the room. It was a great encounter. Well, that's kind of nice.
Whoa.
I'm glad they took it positively.
Yeah.
A woman informed us at check-in that she awoke to someone standing over her. That afternoon, housekeeping re-entered the room after cleaning it to find pillows tossed about. So they'd already cleaned it. They came back in, pillows everywhere. Then we had another guest feel a tap, tap, tap on her chest in the middle of the night. I was taking a shower, then all of a sudden I felt a hand grab my butt. I screamed and grabbed my towel to dry off and get my clothes on. Right as I spotted my shirt, it flew up in the air. We apologize for that one. And this is the McMenamins staff talking in parentheses. We apologize for that one. We'll have the manager speak to the ghost in question.
Oh, that's funny.
And scary.
Spooky, spooky Halloween.
There's more encounters on the website. They have those ones, and then people comment. There's 33 comments of people sharing encounters. So
oh, fun.
if you go to blog.mcmenamins.com, you can find several
more stories.
and they're not just Edgefield. It's like several more stories from different McMenamins hotels.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it too. Well,
I would love to go back and stay there again.
Hey, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I think you guys should. Did you keep your homemade Ouija board?
I have a better
This
one.
is a real one.
Did
I have
you
a really
keep your?
nice-
We
Did you
threw it
keep
in
the one
the
you made?
trash.
Yeah, we threw it in the trash when we left,
Oh.
so McMenamins has it.
Yeah, they have it. They kept it. I'm sure they kept it.
They're like, this will be handy. But I have a really
Somebody probably
beautiful-
wrote in the ghost log, I stayed in room 215 and I found handwritten Ouija board in the trash.
There was no planchette, but there was a bottle cap.
question mark.
There was nothing else in the garbage but a bottle cap. Planchette not visible.
Freaky.
Little do they know.
It was real.
It
For
was
real.
It was real. I took a photo.
And I'm not going to show you.
Oh, that's so fun. I love it. I love that there's so many people that have had experiences there.
Yeah.
Like it's bottomless.
Yeah.
Do they serve rabbit at the Black Rabbit?
Oh, maybe.
The only way, one way to find out, we can't call and ask. We have to go and we have to eat there.
Yeah, can't look it up. Don't Google it.
Try to find out.
We'll
By
have to go.
going there.
You're gonna have to plan a trip.
Sisters trip, sisters trip, sisters trip for work.
For sure. Well, I feel like this is a good place to wrap up the episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for listening. And we would love it if you gave us 5 stars and subscribe to the show.
Not
And-
real stars. Like in a rating system, 5 stars.
Yes, that is what we mean. Thank you, Emily. Once again, coming to the rescue for clarification.
Yes. Thanks for gathering with us. Stay creepy.
Stay
Stay
crazy.
crazy. Stay cool.
Cool. Yes.
Yeah.
Join us next
I
time.
didn't know we weren't supposed to say it all together.
Oh, let's do it all together.
Sorry.
Stay creepy.
Stay
crazy.
crazy.
Why did you say creepy first? Because we
Stay
always say
crazy.
crazy.
Stay
creepy.
Stay
Stay
cool.
cool.
But maybe faster. Stay crazy.
Stay crazy. Stay
Stay cool.
I think they've got it.
All right. Thank you. See you next time.
Once again, we are the Spooky Darlings. Our email is thespookydarlings@gmail.com. That's thespookydarlings@gmail.com. And we would love to hear from you if you have any stories to share, or if you have any comments or questions about the episode, please send us an email. All right, thank you, and we hope you'll tune in next week. Also, please leave us a review if you don't mind. Thanks. 5 stars. Before we disappear into the shadows, don't forget, we're still sending out vinyl stickers. Leave us a rating and review and email us proof to thespookydarlings@gmail.com, along with your mailing address, and we'll send you some spooky snail mail while supplies last. And if your heart is still mourning that tote bag, may we gently tempt your way toward our merch store at thespookydarlings.printful.me. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Thanks for listening. And as always, stay spooky.